So, you're thinking about becoming a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and you're wondering, where exactly can I work? And honestly, you can work in so many different places, but in this video, I'm going to be going over my top 5 places where you can work at as a Psych NP, so stay tuned. Welcome back, Psych Dude family. It's good seeing each and every one of you guys today. So you probably clicked this video wondering, hey Psych Dude, where can I work as a Psych NP? And honestly, like I said, this is a great question because you can work in so many different places, and some places I've never actually even heard of Psych NPs working there, but yep, they do. And I just wanted to give you my opinion in terms of my top 5 places where Psych NPs can actually work. And I want to kind of rank these things, and I want to give you my opinion based on certain criteria. So you're looking at your hours that you actually work, you're looking at flexibility, you're looking at pay, and you're looking at liability and the amount of support you actually have from staff and from patients itself. So in this video, I'm going to be going over that. So let's get started. And before we actually get started on this list, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video and follow me on Instagram at THEPSYCHDUDE. And make sure you message me saying you followed me from YouTube. I definitely encourage that, and I love hearing about you guys and learning more about all of you guys. So let's get this video started. And coming in number 5 is community mental health centers. The reason why I rank it so high is because community mental health centers provide so much for patients. Yes, you're dealing with higher acuity compared to private practices, but on the other end, you have so much support. You have mental health workers, you have LPTs, you have psychiatrists, you have mental health counselors, you have LCSWs, you have therapists, psychologists, you have a team, and that's the most important thing, especially coming out as a new grad. I absolutely loved working at my community mental health center because of all of the resources I had, all the people that I had at my disposal for me to give the highest quality of care for patients. And think about it, you're working Monday through Friday, no call, you're working 8 to 5, 9 to 6, you get your hour breaks, you get time off either in the beginning of the day, the end of the day to finish charting, and you get to spend a lot of time with the patients. A lot of the times you're doing 30-minute follow-ups and an hour initials, or even 2-hour initials. And that's important, especially as a new grad, and that's the reason why this ranks so high on my list. Number 5 is community mental health center. So if you're a new grad, you're thinking about slowly easing your way into becoming more comfortable as a provider, definitely think about working at a community mental health center. Coming in at number 4 of my top 5 places for Psych NPs to work at is inpatient units. Inpatient psychiatric units are the way to go, and the reason why I rank it so high on my list is because you have flexibility. And the reason why I say you have flexibility is because you have the opportunity to work 312s. You're not necessarily behind the desk, and you pretty much can round on your patients, see your patients whenever you want to, and you have that flexibility. There's some instances where you actually have to stay on the unit or in a room waiting for patients and just being able to evaluate them, but for the most part, based on talking to other Psych NPs that do work inpatient, they see all of their patients and then they go home, but they have to be on call. But it's relatively flexible. If you just want to go in, see how many patients you need to see, write their orders, and then leave, you can do that. So let's go about pay. Typically, pay in this instance, especially as Psych NPs, you definitely can do the 70-30 split, but for the most part, from what I've heard from talking to other Psych NPs, is you're paid salary, and you're pretty much left as that. You're paid your salary regardless of how many patients you see, and you're gonna go about it that way. But like I said, it's flexible, especially if you just want to see patients for 6 hours, write your orders and leave, then you definitely can do that. Or Sometimes you might have to stay at the hospital, but you get to chill in your office until the next patient comes in. And this is the reason why I rank inpatient units as the top 4. And this is the reason why I rank inpatient units as number 4 on my list of the top 5 places to work as a Psych NP. Coming in at number 3 is the ER or Psych ER. The reason why this is number 3 on my list, ranking so high, is because you get to work in an emergency setting. And as many of you guys know, I worked at a level 1 trauma center in the ED, the medical ED, not the Psych ER. But there are times where we actually got to go to the Psych ER, drop off patients, or float over there, or just be able to observe and evaluate patients that might not necessarily be, stable. But on the other hand, we got to experience that, and as you know, I love emergency settings, and I love the fact that you're able to work there as a Psych NP. And I know there are jobs out there where you can actually work in the medical ER as the Psych NP and just do evaluations or consultations with other providers in order for you to psychiatrically consult with the patients, or basically clear them psychiatrically to make sure they're not a danger to themselves, danger to others, GD, or they're not necessarily treating it the correct way and them treating it medically instead of psychiatrically when you could have treated it psychiatrically because it wasn't caused by a medical issue, or vice versa. And the beauty of working as a Psych NP in that setting is you're pretty flexible. Not everyone is going to be psych. Yes, there are certain instances where there are a lot of psych patients, but there are other days where there are not that many psych patients. So the flexibility in it all, and if you want to work less time with patient care face to face, but dealing with acute patients, this is the setting. And did I mention you can work 312s also? Depending on where you work, you can work your 312s like RNs. I can't stress this enough. I love working 312s. You have 4 days off. Imagine 4 days off. That's what we had as RNs. But now can you be a provider working 312s and having more money to spend on those 4 days off? Whew. Amazing. But yeah, this is the reason why it ranks so high on my list, is because you get to take care of sick patients, especially if you're in the Psych ER. You are the main person who decides whether they're going to go home or they're going to stay in the hospital and get transferred to a different hospital. And you get to make that decision making, and you pretty much have all that power to yourselves. Of course, you're going to, if depending on what state you are, you're going to have psychiatrists with you, but for the most part, you get to make a lot of decision making on yourself. And this is the reason why I love working. Well, I don't work in it, but I have it as my top 3 on my top 5 list of places where you can work at as a Psych NP. Coming in at number 2 on my top 5 list of where you can work at as a Psych NP is rounding. And let me clarify that. So there are Psych NPs that actually round. So they round at nursing homes, they round at SNFs, they round at boarding cares, and they round at hospitals. And this is probably the top 2 on my list because you have so much flexibility. You go when you want to go. You don't have to worry about no-shows. You don't have to worry about sitting around and having patients come to you. You go to them. And regardless, at all of these places, these are all 24-hour places. So wherever you want to go, whenever you want to go, all you have to do is just go in and see your patients. You can see so many different patients in a certain amount of time and go home. If you know you need to drop off your kids in the morning and then pick them up at a certain time, you can go see the patients in between that time. And there is potential for a lot of money. The reason being is because it's a numbers game. So the more people you see, the more you get paid. And you don't necessarily have to wait like in other instances when you're in the office, and if they don't show up, you don't get paid. So think about it as that way. But I say it's number 2 because of how flexible it is. You, like I said, a lot of the trend on all of these top 5 places for me is flexibility. And the more flexible you are, the ability you are to have a life outside of work. And let's be real, yes, what we do is life-changing, and I love exactly what we do, how we do it, but at the same time, I love my life outside of work. And that's the reason why I became an NP, is because I want that lifestyle. And I love my lifestyle now compared to being an RN. And I'm not saying my lifestyle wasn't good as an RN, but let's just be real, guys. I love my lifestyle as an NP. And if I can find a place where I'm still able to make an impact and still able to treat patients the way I want them to be treated, and not necessarily have to work so much, I'm gonna take it. And this is the reason why this ranks so high on my list. And coming in at number 1 on my top 5 list of where Psych NPs can work at is private practice, owning your own private practice. And the reason why I say owning your own private practice is number 1 on my list is because it pretty much covers all of it. You get the financial support, you get the hours worked, you have flexibility, you have decreased liability because everything is on you. So pretty much in this instance, you get to decide what hours you want to work. You get to decide how many patients you want to see. You get to decide on how you bill the patients and how you can get more patients for your financial support. You get to dictate everything. I'm not saying there's less liability, but if you're able to make sure your schedule, you get to see as much patients as you can in the longest amount of time as you want, you get to take care of each patient how you want to take care of them. And you're not going to be rushing time. You're not going to be feeling pressure to see this amount of patients because this is your practice. And owning your own practice is something I've always dreamed of, and hopefully one day soon I'll be able to do that. But this is probably the top tier in my book because you get to decide how you want to work and what days you want to work, what hours you want to work, what type of patients you want to see. If you want to see commercial patients, if you want to see Medicare, Medi-Cal patients, if you want to see cash patients, whatever you want to do, you get to dictate it. Obviously, there's certain restrictions depending on which states, but for the most part, if this is your practice and you're just outsourcing collaborator or you have a partner with you, you guys get to decide on how you want to run the show, and this offers you all of it, all of that. And honestly, I want to do it. I'm just pretty much putting things in place. Hopefully one day I'll own my own practice, but for right now I have to pretty much stick to what I'm doing. I love what I do, don't get me wrong, but imagine owning your own practice and just having to work, oh, I want to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 to 8 or 8 to 5, or just working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or working Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so you can have Fridays, Saturdays, Sunday, and Mondays off. It's so flexible, and it's one of those things you can always expand upon. And if you want to even take other jobs in terms of rounding, you can make contracts within your private practice for you to round at those boarding cares, hospitals, at clinics, things like that. Well, not clinics, but boarding cares, hospitals, hospice, SNFs, so many different places you're able to actually work at, and you can do all of that when you own your own private practice. Well, these are the top 5 places that I actually adore. These are the things that, if these are my top 5 places where Psych NPs can actually flourish. And like I said, a lot of these things are based around flexibility for me, and they're built around what I can do with my life outside of work. This might not be for everyone. This top 5 might be the bottom 5 for other people, but for me, in my situation and how I want to live, these are my top 5. And if you want to know more places where you can work at and have ideas on if you're already going that route, definitely feel free to comment down below and asking me where other places you can work at. And if you have any generalized questions, please feel free to comment down below, and I'll be more than welcome to answer it. And if you want to collaborate on any of these videos, please feel free to send me email letting me know that you want to collaborate, just so we can get set up, because I do want to push out more content and I do want to feature more people, because within healthcare we are a small community, but if we can collaborate with others and spread the words of everyone else around us into influencing people, either be it PA, RN, MD, NP, or anyone, if we can influence and make a huge impact on multiple number of people, then hopefully we can make that impact in helping and create a better lifestyle for everyone else around us, especially our patients. Well, this is the end of my video. Like I said, if you have any questions, concerns, please comment down below and follow me on Instagram at THEPSYCHDUDE. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe and give me a big thumbs up. The more likes I get, the more I'm going to push out more content. As always, guys, have a wonderful day. Bye.